The strangely good-tasting cum spurred him on as he pushed his tongue past the labia and into the moist tunnel. Minjo pressed his face onto her and delved deeper with his tongue, taking it out occasionally to lick and suck that tiny bunch of super-sensitive flesh. The feeling of Peachy's sexy legs pressing on either side of his head as she tightened with pleasure, along with the amazing perspective of her breasts above him with nipples erect, kept his erection strong. The desire to fill her, to make her yell with lust, suddenly surged through him, and he pulled himself close to her, so that the vertical length of his shaft pressed onto her labia. Peachy fished out the condom from her jeans on the floor, and ripped the end with her teeth, maintaining that rape stare with him the entire time. The process of slipping on the condom did wonders for Minjo's self-esteem. The thin rubber barely fit, and he saw Peachy's eyes dart down, focusing that stare at what would be hers. Minjo pulled the length down and pressed the head against the shining pink crease. Intentionally slow, he started to push the head in. Peachy's chest started to heave. She brought her hands to her breasts and fondled the nipples. Minjo met a small resistance, Peachy's hymen, but he punched through it. The immense pleasure from having Minjo inside of her distracted her from the pain of being stretched further than her fingers had ever done. With a final grunt, Minjo pushed himself all the way into her. Peachy let out a cry. Ah! Her lower half felt stretched to its limit. Minjo kissed her and fell over her, pressing himself onto her breasts and feeling them smoosh against his own chest. Peachy's hot cum dripped down onto Minjo's balls, complementing the warmth of her mouth as they forced their tongues around each other. Peachy ground her vajayjay hard onto Minjo, clenching the muscles inside of her until the carnal tunnel was impossibly tight and hot. Minjo pulled away from her face and tensed his body for the extreme coitus that was about to follow. Oh, and did it follow. They both felt like they had become one solid being, gyrating to its own rhythm for the sole purpose of a pleasure beyond what they had known before. Her cries and his occasional grunt was an epic free verse, the ultimate love story. Peachy stuck her hand below their sweaty abdomens and rubbed viciously at her clitoris, feeling shock waves of pleasure roll over her. It was too much for Peachy, and she orgasmed violently, scratching Minjo's back in the process. Her flushed face and chest roused the beast in him once more, and he felt himself also coming to climax. And he did. Oh, Oh, what a climax it was! So much stronger than those of all his private sessions. It had a different feel about it somehow. Wetter, dirtier, like his orgasm was a dark place where he could go and escape all his problems. He thrust again and again, keeping that dark, warm place in his mind. He felt the blood rush to his cheeks. Peachy orgasmed again, crying out at the feeling of her vajayjay being flooded by Minjo's warm cum. It was unlike anything she had ever felt, like the liquid was bonding. Wait, wasn't he wearing a condom? They both made a horrible eye contact, and that dark place was washed away and replaced by the poorly lighted motel room and Peachy's wide brown eyes. Strings of her wet hair still clung to her face, and the sinking feeling grew. Minjo pulled out, and to his horror, found that the condom had split right down the middle. Who knew when? But all they saw was his man rod covered in her vajayjay juices, and strings of his own cum leading from the dick head right into her vajayjay.
9 months later.
In a clean, white hospital, located in a busy town near the middle of Scotland, a woman was giving birth. A man was next to her, grasping her hand tightly and comforting her. She spit and cried and groaned, pushing and pushing as doctors crowded around her. It was merely an hour into the delivery, but already the head was out, and the rest soon to follow. It was almost miraculous to have a delivery that fast, but Peachy was strong in both body and heart. With one final strained push, Peachy forced the child out into the world. The nearest doctor made note of the time and announced,
Child delivery started at 1:48 and ends at 2:57. I do believe that's a new record for this hospital.
Minjo's heart swelled with pride. That's 69 minutes. And all was right with the world. The truth was, Peachy had never... Shut up! When you're snarking behind me, it's like impossible. Christ! Oh. Okay. Okay. Alright. Shut up. Shut up. It's cool. It's cool. Alright, fine. Oh, Christ. His thoughts drifted to Peachy's vajayjay. Do you want me to leave these laughs in? I'm probably not going to fix the mistakes where I like end up rereading stuff. If you want to edit that out, that's your choice, but Holy shit, there's a lot of people in here.
Back in like 15 minutes. Somebody's reading like a I'll explain it to you later.
Okay. Okay. I think this is the point where after she orgasms, she goes, Peachy the winner!
One up. Oh.
Okay. Alright. I don't know. We're not even like halfway done. Okay. Alright. Shh.
How did they spell the JJ?
I don't know. Alright. Are you done?
Yes. Stop.
Oh my god, it gets even worse after that.
Okay.
Alright. I need a sip.
I bet you do, baby girl. Oh god.
Did I say that right, maybe?
Yeah.
Okay. So sorry, I'm not too. I'm sorry. Well, my libido isn't too strong.
It's pronounced vajayjay.
Oh my god.
Minjo met a small resistance, Peachy's hymen, but he punched through it.
Who else thought Falco punch?
Pow! Right in the kisser.
Boom! Headshot.
Peachy. And he did. Oh. Screw you, watch.
Oh, not the watch.
Oh, I have to do the orgasm noise. Sorry. I have to do it himself.